Hello students, today we will move on to the next chapter, chapter number 3, Assessment of Cooperative Societies. So what is this cooperative society? Cooperative society is nothing but it is a society. A cooperative society means a society registered under Cooperative Societies Act 1912. Registered under Cooperative Societies Act 1912, or it might be registered under any other law for the time being in force in any state for the registration of cooperative society. So in this chapter we are going to learn about the cooperative society and mainly the deductions relating to the cooperative society. So that is nothing but deduction under section 80P. So this deduction is relating to the income of cooperative society. So here under this deduction, the deduction under section 80P of the Income Tax Act 1961. So this deduction is available for the income of a cooperative societies. So deduction under section 80P of the Income Tax Act 1961, it is available to the cooperative societies. So it is available to the cooperative societies if it engaged in the providing specified activities. Maybe banking business or marketing of agricultural produce, purchase of agricultural implements, processing of agricultural produce, fishing activities. So if cooperative societies engaged in those specified activities and they earn an income from the specified activities, and those income, if it is included in the gross total income of a cooperative societies, then they can claim a deduction under section 80P. So that is for the income, if the income is included in the gross total income of a cooperative society, then they can claim a deduction under section 80P. So here a cooperative society can claim a deduction under this section. So 80P deduction is relating to the cooperative society. So 80P deduction is not available to cooperative bank or state or central cooperative bank or primary cooperative bank or regional rural bank. So it is relating to the cooperative societies, not for the cooperative bank or any other. Next, the deduction is allowed in the following manner. So there are certain deductions, incomes. There are certain incomes given here. So these are the income. For this income, a cooperative societies can claim a deductions. Now we'll see one by one. Here there are certain incomes. If a cooperative societies earns those income engaged in those activities, and if they earn income from those activities, 100% of profit, total profit what they earn from those specified activities, can claim a deduction under section 80P. 100% of deduction is available under section 80P for the profit or gains for these specified activities. Under that, first specified activity is banking business. So the first one is deduction relating to banking business. So that is banking business here. A cooperative society engaged in the business of banking and providing credit facilities can claim deduction under this section on the income from banking business as well as from credit facility to its members. So if suppose cooperative society runs a banking business. Suppose a cooperative society runs a banking business, then the deduction under section 80P is available. So banking business is nothing but it is a lending of money and accepting deposit. Banking is nothing but lending money and accepting deposit. So here if a cooperative society is engaged in the business of banking and providing the credit facilities, if they are providing credit facilities, then the cooperative society can claim deduction under section 80P for the banking business. So this deduction can be claimed on the income from the banking business. So this is the deduction 80P is available on the income from the banking business as well as the from credit facility to its members. So remember, banking business. If a cooperative society engaged in the banking business and providing credit facilities, even the providing credit facility to its members, then they can claim a deduction under section 80P. Second one is cottage industry. So if a cooperative society engaged in the cottage industry, then they can claim a deduction under the section 80P on the whole income or a profit from the cottage industry, cottage business. So if a cooperative society engaged in the cottage business and if they earn a income, so on a whole income, for the whole income they can claim a deduction under section 80P. So there are criteria for claiming deduction, that is the cottage industry should be carried on small scale. The cottage industry should be carried on small scale with small amount of capital and small number of workers. It means here, if a cooperative society cottage industry engaged in the cottage industry and it is in the large scale, means large number of workers, large number of capital used, then it is not a cottage industry, and it is here the deduction is not available for the large scale or a large amount of capital, large number of workers. So the criteria, first condition is it should be carried on small scale with the small amount of capital and small number of workers. Second condition is it should not be required to be registered under Factory Act. So this cottage industry need not be registered under Factory Act. Third one is owned and managed by cooperative society. So this cottage industry, in order to claim deduction under section 80P, it should be owned and managed by cooperative society. Then and next one, its activity must be carried by the member of the society. The activities of this cottage industry should be carried out by the member of the society and other families and not outside hired labor. So activities of this cottage industry should be carried out by the members and families of a cooperative societies and not from the other outside hired labor. And it must carry the activity of manufacture, production or processing. So here cottage industry should carry the activity of manufacture, production or processing, and it should not be engaged in the buying and selling. It should be engaged in the manufacture, production or processing of agricultural product. It should not be engaged in the buying and selling. It should not be engaged in the trade. So, in order to claim deduction under section 80P, a cooperative society should be engaged in the cottage industry, and then if they earn an income from those cottage industry, they can claim deduction under section 80P only if this condition fulfills. They can claim deductions with this criteria. Next point number C, marketing of agricultural produce. So here the whole amount of profit earned from the marketing of agricultural produce grown by the members of the society is deductible. So if a cooperative society earns income from the marketing of agricultural produce, then the deduction under section 80P is available. Then next point, purchase of agricultural implements. If a cooperative society earns income from a purchase of agricultural implements, seeds, livestock, animals or any other articles such as cattle feed, fertilizers, etc. The intention of this is for the agricultural purpose, and supplying them to the members is deductible. So if a cooperative society earn a income from the purchase of these agricultural implements, maybe seeds, livestock or any other articles, cattle field, fertilizers, and that should be used for the agricultural purpose, and supplying them to its members, then they can claim deduction under section 80P. Next one is processing of agricultural produce. If a cooperative society earns income from a processing of agricultural produce, and that must be without the use of power. This processing should be without the use of power, not with the use of power. In order to claim deduction under section 80P, the income of from the processing of agricultural produce should be without the use of power. then only they can claim deduction under section 80P. Next one is collective disposal of labor. So if a cooperative society earns income from the activity of a collective disposal of labor of its members, then they can claim a deduction under section 80P. Next one is fishing and allied activities. So if a cooperative society is engaged in the fishing and allied activities, then the whole amount of these activities, the whole amount of profit from these activities, then from this activity can claim a deduction under section 80P. So example for these fishing and allied activities like catching fish, curing the fishes, processing, preserving the fishes, storing or marketing of fishes, and also includes purchase and sale of fishing instrument. So fishing and allied activities: catching the fish, curing, processing, preserving, storing and marketing of fish, and also it includes the purchase and sale of fishing instrument. Fishing as well as fishing instrument. So if a cooperative society earn a income from these activity, then they can claim a deduction under section 80P. Next one is primary society engaged in the supply of milk, oilseeds and fruits, oilseeds, fruits, etc. So if a cooperative society engaged in this supply of milk, oilseeds, fruits, and entire profit from this primary society like supply of milk, oilseeds, fruits or vegetables grown or raised by its members is deductible under section 80P. So remember, society engaged in the supply of milk, oilseeds, fruits. Next point is income from other activities. So if a cooperative society is engaged in any other activities and if it earn a income from the other activities, then deduction can be claimed. Maximum deduction of 1 lakh can be claimed in case of consumer cooperative society and 50,000 in case of any other cooperative society. So deduction relating to the income from other activities: if a cooperative society is engaged in other activities and if it earns a income from other activities, then deduction of 1 lakh can be claimed in case of consumer cooperative society and 50,000 in case of other cooperative society. Next one is interest and dividend income. So if a cooperative society earns interest or dividend income from its investment in the any other cooperative society or cooperative bank, then they can claim deduction under section 80P. So if a cooperative society earns interest or dividend income from any other cooperative society or a cooperative bank, then they can claim deduction under section 80P. Next one, interest on securities or property income. So here this deduction for the deduction of interest on security and corporate property income can be claimed only if GTA is less than 20,000. If cooperative society's gross total income is less than 20,000, then and in that case, if a cooperative society earns interest on securities or if they have property income, then they can claim deduction for this interest on securities and property income under section 80P. The next point is letting of godown. So if a cooperative society earns income from the letting of godown, letting the godown or warehouses for storage or processing or facilitating the marketing of agricultural commodities, then deduction under section 80P can be claimed. So if a cooperative society earns income from the letting of godown or a warehouses and that godown should be used for the storage, processing or facilitating the marketing of agricultural commodities, for storage of agricultural commodities or relating to agricultural commodities, then only the deduction under section 80P can be claimed for the letting of godown. So if it is for any other purpose, if it is for any other residential purpose or for any other commercial purpose or residential purpose, then deduction cannot be claimed. Only the deduction can be claimed only if this godown is used for storage, processing, facilitating the agricultural commodities. So then only they can claim reduction under section 80P. So remember, there are totally A to L. There are point A to L. So you should remember only these points can be claimed deduction under section 80P. So first one is banking business. If a cooperative society is engaged in the banking business and providing credit facilities, then they can claim reduction under section 80P for the income what they earn from this banking business. And if a cooperative society engaged in the cottage industry and they are earning a income from this cottage business, then they can claim reduction under section 80P. And if a cooperative society engaged in this marketing of agricultural produce, then they can claim reduction under section 80P. And if a cooperative society purchases the agricultural implements like seeds, livestock, any other articles like cattle feed, fertilizer, and that should be used for the agricultural purpose, then they can claim a deduction under section 80P. And if a cooperative society engaged in the processing of agricultural produce and that also should be without the use of power, then they can claim a deduction under section 80P. And collective disposal of labor. If a cooperative society earn an income from this collective disposal of labor, then they can claim reduction. Fishing and allied activity. If a cooperative society is engaged in this fishing and allied activities and if they earn an income from that activities, then it is a they can claim reduction under section 80P. The next one is primary society engaged in supply of milk, oilseeds and fruit. If a cooperative society engaged in these activities, supply of milk, oilseeds, fruits, vegetable, then they can claim reduction under section 80P. Next is income from other activity, that is 1 lakh in case of consumer cooperative society, 50,000 in case of other cooperative society. Interest or dividend income from a cooperative society. If one cooperative society earn interest or dividend income from other cooperative society or a cooperative bank, then they can claim a deduction for this. Interest on security and property income, it is only if GTA does not exceed 20,000, then they can claim deduction for the interest on securities or property income. So this it is of a cooperative society. Next, letting of godown. That godown should be let out only for the storage, processing and facilitating of agricultural commodities, then they can claim a deduction under section 80P. So the next is computation of taxable income and tax liability. So how to compute this taxable income and tax liability? So first one is we have to ascertain the income under different heads, maybe house property income, business income, capital gain, other source. So first we have to ascertain the income under different heads of income. So that is nothing but gross total income. Then we have to provide the deduction under section 80 as usual. How to compute the total income for individual, similarly we have to compute, and we have to allow the deduction under section 80. So for the cooperative society, all the deduction is not allowed. So the deductions like ATG, so before ATC, ATD, like the deduction is not allowed for the cooperative society. So for the cooperative society, deduction under section 80 is allowed. Deduction under section 80 is allowed is namely ATG deductions, ATGGA, GGC, IAB, IB, IC, ID, IE, JJA, and mainly ATP. So if you deduct these deductions, will get the resulting amount is nothing but total taxable income. So on this taxable income, this cooperative society has to pay the tax liability, tax payable. So now we'll see what is the tax liability as per the for the tax rate specified for the assessment year 2020-21. So for the income range from 0 to 10,000 income, tax rate is 10%. So that is 0 to 10,000 range 10%, 10,000 to 20,000 range 20%, and above 20,000 30%. So this one we can even take like in other way also, that is first 10,000 rupee. For the first 10,000 means 0 to 10,000 10%, Then next 10,000 to 20,000 means next 10,000 rupee, that is 20 percentage, and above 20,000 means this is above 20,000. So 10,000 over plus 10,000 over, so above 20,000 means above 20, or we can take balance. So on balance 30 percentage. Understood? So for the first 10,000 income 10 percentage, next 10,000 to 20,000 means the range 10,000 to 20,000 means next 10,000 20 percentage, next on whatever the balance we left, that is on at 30 percentage. So in this way also we can calculate, or we can calculate like this also. So if it is 0 to 10,000 means here the range how much 10,000, next 10,000 to 20,000 means difference how much 10,000, then above 20,000 means above balance, whatever may be the balance on that 30 percent. So this is the tax rate for the cooperative society as per the assessment year, for the assessment year 2020-21. Next on that tax we have to add surcharge if any, that is at 12 percentage of tax so computed if total income exceeds 1 crore. 12 percentage surcharge if total income exceeds 1 crore, and it is subject to marginal relief. Next we have to add health and education cess, that is at 4 percentage, that is also on the tax amount so computed. On the tax amount so computed we have to add health and education cess. Next is last step is we have to apply the AMT. AMT is nothing but alternate minimum tax. Alternate minimum tax, it is nothing but it is a tax payable by non-corporate assessee, cannot be less than 18.5 percentage of adjusted total income as per 115 JC. So as per this section, 18.5 percentage of adjusted total income. So and non-corporate assessee should pay minimum, alternate minimum tax is nothing but they have to pay minimum 18.5 percentage of adjusted total income. We have to compare with this is a normal tax liability and this is the AMT. We have to compare with this minimum 18.5 percentage of ATA they have to pay. If tax liability is more, then they have to pay tax liability. If tax liability is less, then they have to pay minimum 18.5 percentage of ATA. Understood? So this is about the assessment of cooperatives.